That's the problem.
Hey, Kevin, what are you measuring?
My mistakes. I'm working on a sculpture here, and it kind of has generated a little interest in, well, how the heck do you do that? So I thought, all right, let me show you what I do and how I do it. The question that I got was, you have a space, and you got it in your brain, you know what you want to put there. How do you make it all come out? How do you make it fit? That's the important part. You know, do you use a computer? Do you use CAD? Do you use paper? Nah, I use chalk. So we went to the site. This is at a private home up in the northeast side of the Phoenix metro area. This sculpture goes outside the master bedroom in a planter. And there's this big picture window that looks out onto their garden. And they got this beautiful, beautiful garden out there. So they wanted a sculpture. They wanted something in this space. They wanted it in front of that window where they could see it from inside the master bedroom. But they didn't want it to block their view. I'm out. I work in steel. I work in metal. You know, I make big things. So I found a way to cheat. So after taking a bunch of measurements, you know, how wide is the window? How tall is the window? You know, from the bottom of the window to the ground, from the planter that's on the wall of the planter that's out here, because the wall of the house is back there. How big is that space? How tall is that wall? Get all those dimensions, every dimension you can think of. Anything you can find right there that'll help you recreate here what you're working in there. So I knew how wide I wanted to be. This is going to be just about an inch wider than the window itself. It's going to be just as tall as the window is. Now I got to find that dimension from there to the ground. Well, that's where the chalk comes in. It's not quite like a magic carpet, but it's close. So I know overall, I'm at 97.5 inches from ground level to the top of the sculpture. So it's easy enough just to go backwards, measure down. Now I got ground level. Well, I want to use a Haro dish. Big round, a little bit of a dome to it, nice and stable. Something that's used to living in the dirt, so it's not going to mind being buried in that planter out there. So now that I've got ground level, I can add in the height of my Haro dish that I'm going to use for a base. I've got a piece of pipe. I know how tall that is. I've got to do something at the top of the piece of pipe to allow me to take some probably 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, because these are 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch. So I'll take 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch solid rod and just make little fingers. It'll just kind of reach up and hold onto this and help support this sculpture. Now when you start putting all that together, it winds up looking like this. Hey Steve, this here's Steve.
What's up, Kevin?
Could you grab the other side, please? I want to hook it up on that hook.
All right.
Right. Nope.
Okay.
So I've already got my block and tackle set to the right height at the inside edge of the hook. So I know I can just hang this up there and it's going to be right where it's supposed to be, centered, top to bottom, side to side, right on the window. So what I did here was, here's my Haro dish, and this is an old one. So it's been in the ground a while. It's good, solid, 1/4 inch thick steel up in there. So it'll last a long, long time. Piece of 4-inch diameter pipe. It's 1/4 inch wall, and then a hemisphere. Half of a spun metal ball, a hemisphere. So it's 8-inch wall. Just the right size, just take it around, grind it smooth, Now I've got a nice interesting top to it. I can go ahead and put my fingers, probably 2 coming out this way, 2 coming up that way, maybe 1 coming right up the middle, just so it's got plenty of support. So we're not going to worry about any kind of wiggle, but there's no weight. It's just little quarter by quarter. There's no solid surface to catch any kind of wind. It's pretty strong. You can see we can pick it up and move it around. There's no flex or anything to it. So that's what I do. Get all my dimensions, just come draw it out. Just lay it out right there on the floor. If I'm like building a gate or something, when I need a wall, okay, make one. I've got some concrete blocks I can stack up to get the right height, get them straight. I can put make 2 posts, side by or across from one another. Now I've got my dimension. I can literally work right in the space that I'll have once I get to the site. So speaking of working, I'm going to go ahead and get some metal, start making my little fingers on here and get this puppy going. We'll see y'all next time.
Just be sure when you grab it, you go.
Stroke it a few times, polish it.